What happened there? Dan just fell off his chair. Dan, the viewers are wondering, are you okay?
Yeah, I was having a chuckle and lost track of my balance.
I get it. It happens to all of us. We're mailing it in today because it's the final show of the week for Jay and Dan, brought to you by McDonald's. But we're not really mailing it in, Dan, are we? Because we have so much to get to, including those Toronto Blue Jays, the chance to clinch a postseason berth.
Beat the Yankees, you're into the postseason. So first up on our magical ride through sports, Buffalo.
A GoPro on his head. Now I reached out
Vladdy
to
Guerrero Jr. rocking a GoPro. It's the final game of a 4-game series against the Yankees. Bottom two, Guerrero Jr.'s first at bat.
And he swings and lifts a ball.
Senor Ganovsky. Guerrero Jr. is 8th of the year, first of 3 hits on the day. 1-0. Tirana. Hyun-Jin Ryu with an ERA just under 9 and 3 career starts against the Yankees. Top 5. Rio gets Clint Frazier with a 69-mile-an-hour curveball. 7 innings of shutout ball. First Jay starter to get that far this season. In the 6th, 2-1 for Alejandro Kirk down the left field line. Randall Grichuk scores from second. Guerrero Jr. making the turn. We're going to have a play at the plate. The relay is... He's safe. Jays up 4-0. Top 8. This was the crucial part of the ball game. Yanks down 3. They got the bases loaded for Gary Sanchez. Oh no, I think he got it. Randall Grichuk running out of room, hauls it in at the wall. Made it look easy. Sanchez that close to a go-ahead grand slam. Biggest catch of the year for the Jays. Top 9, 1 on 2 out. Rafael Dolis facing Aaron Hicks. Ball game over. The Blue Jays are going to the postseason for the first time in 4 years. Caleb Joseph getting his teammates all fired up. Team pitcher as the Jays do it. All thanks to Ryu. He had that 4-year, $80 million deal given to him by Toronto. He is not disappointed. In 67 innings, he's pitched to an ERA under 3, going 5-2. It's time to party in Buffalo.
They were yelling, "We did it!" So you know, it was awesome.
Awesome.
One of my boys here. Woo! We did it. That's right. Everything we've gone through all year, and you know, kids, you know, the up and downs, the tough games, and coming back and winning the games after we had tough losses, and we keep playing. You know, we keep believing in ourselves. It's awesome. I'm so proud of this group. You know, I'm the happiest guy right now.
And joined by Blue Jays reporter Scott Mitchell in the Coors virtual side seats. Before the season started, most projected the Jays as a sub-500 team, well out of the playoff mix. Yet here we are, the Jays going to the postseason. How did they exceed those expectations?
Well, look, before we get to what the Blue Jays did, it's pretty clear that they were fortunate in the fact that the expanded playoffs went from 5 teams to 8 teams. That's a huge, huge factor in this because they wouldn't be there without that. And then the shortened 60-game season really changed things in terms of a sample size. And it wasn't the grueling schedule that you normally would have faced as a young ball club that the Blue Jays were kind of facing back in February and March. So once this season started, their playoff odds exponentially changed. And with the way some of the teams behind them played, the Boston Red Sox disappointed, the LA Angels have disappointed. So the stars have kind of aligned for Charlie Montoyo's team, and they did enough to really get in position. But you can't ignore the fact that this team has really improved by leaps and bounds over their 95-loss season from a year ago. The offense went from near the bottom of the league to top 10, averaging about 5 runs a game at this point. And then when you look at some of the other improvements, the bullpen really carried this team. And we all know this young core of hitters led by Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Cavan Biggio, they were going to be good, but Teoscar Hernandez had a big breakout season, and there's been contributions throughout the lineup even when they had injuries. And I'd really be remiss if I didn't mention Hyun-Jin Ryu, 9-3 record with him on the mound. 4 years, $80 million, and it's so far so good when it comes to that, because without him, they wouldn't be in this spot.
Yeah, it seems like money well spent at this point. You're right, Scott. There are still 3 games left. What are the Jays' priorities as they head into the weekend and prepare for Game 1 on Tuesday?
Well, look, first and foremost, it's stay healthy. I mean, you want to keep your key guys upright, but you want to give them a little bit of a breather and also allow them to play to keep their timing heading into Tuesday, because you don't want to go in rusty against likely a real good Tampa Bay Rays squad. So they'll try to give them a little bit of rest, give their key guys who are banged up a little bit of rest. And then the second priority is clearly shaping this rotation and figuring out what you're going to do past Ryu in Game 1 on Tuesday. The most likely candidate is Taijuan Walker to go in Game 2, but there are some options, and they could get creative as they've done all year. Matt Shoemaker, Robbie Ray, they'll both be options for Game 3, and the Blue Jays will have to figure out if Nate Pearson can play any sort of role out of the bullpen. They just activated him from the IL. He hasn't been into a game yet, but they're going to try to get him some game action and see what he looks like. So there are some moving roster parts that Montoya will have to figure out as they lead into that Game 1 opener on Tuesday.
Sure, it's a pandemic. Sure, it's a shortened season. Sure, they're playing their home games in Buffalo. And yes, it's an expanded playoffs, but the Jays are going to the postseason, Scott. Thank you.
This is very true. First time since 2016. Enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. Dwight Howard replaced JaVale McGee at center in the Lakers starting lineup on Thursday, hoping to slow down Nuggets star Nikola Jokic. But what about the Canadian? Jamal Murray continued to live up to the hype in Game 4 with a move that reminded many of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, and we will get to that in just a moment. But first quarter action where Anthony Davis, gets poked in the eye and still comes back. He's like, where am I? Baseline jumper. 2 of his 14 in the first quarter. Lakers up by as many as a dozen in the first half. Here's Coach Mike Malone's take on Jamal Murray in the postseason.
These 17 games has just been Jamal on steroids, man. Like he's just taking his game to a whole nother level in all facets.
I don't think he's actually on steroids, but he added to his playoff legend.
All been together for the most part. Now he goes, and oh my goodness, what a basket! Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
how to get that?
Very Jordan-esque. Manu Ginobili, the Argentinian, on Twitter, enjoying a 2-screen experience as he watched the game on TSN. How does that one compare to this one? This was Game 5 against Utah. The spin move on Rudy Gobert. Still in the second. Dwight Howard, who I mentioned, got into the starting lineup. Big putback dunk. 10 boards in the first half. Remember, he was a star player in Orlando for 7 or 8 seasons, third quarter. The Canadian? Yes. Deficit is cut to 5. The TNT broadcast crew called that the Canadian step or the Kitchener shuffle, which I prefer. Then it's Murray to Michael Porter Jr. The Nuggets cut the lead to 3 after 3. Murray, fourth quarter action, working against former Raptor Danny Green. No problem there. And then falls while making another. This is just crazy. How did he make that? Nikola Jokic was on the bench with 5 fouls. Murray carrying the team while he was out. Huge swing play. 3 minutes left. Murray trying to make it a 1-point game. Looks like he was fouled by LeBron. No call. Rajon Rondo the other way. One of his classic fakes. And the jumper at the top of the key. Does that look like a foul to you? I'd say so. Lakers take Game 4, 114-108. And Denver's down 3-1 in the series, which means they're exactly where they want to be because they are down 3-1 for the 3rd straight series. And as you know, they won the previous 2 Should mention the Lakers go up 3-1 for the third straight series as well. How about Rajon Rondo? He passes Scottie Pippen for 8th on the all-time postseason assists list. In these playoffs, he's passed Pippen, Jordan, Kobe, and is about to pass Steve Nash. I wonder if LeBron will go into broadcasting, because he's great, breaking down the games and stuff. But it's like Peyton Manning. You want him to do it, but he's probably going to have too many other things to do.
Yeah, he's got a lot on the go.
This Saturday, you can see LeBron and the Lakers potentially punch their ticket to the NBA Finals. Or will Murray and the Nuggets make it a series?
I'm going to let you behind the TV curtain a little here. This, what I'm doing right now, is called an on camera, and it's labeled in the lineup with a subject. For this Jags-Dolphins intro, producer Tim titled it Follicle Bowl. Minshew against Fitzpatrick, mustache against beard. We've been talking about it all week, and I thought, Tim, we're really going to talk about two quarterbacks' facial hair again? And I remembered, this is the Jags and Dolphins. So, you take what you can get.
Take the good, you take the bad.
That's the facts of life.
The defensive side as well. He's brought a lot of energy to this organization, and they've got some young players around him.
I think the beard is a cooler look, and I think guys that grow mustaches a lot of times have patchy sides for their beards, so they just stick with the mustache. But my wife appreciates the mustache trimmed up a little bit more.
I think I've shown I can grow a beard with no patchy sides. But, you know, I'm gonna have respect for my elders, you know, especially when they're much, much older.
I can't wait to never have to talk about this again. Beard versus stash, who wins? Opening Dolphins drive, Fitzpatrick to Preston Williams. Fitzpatrick, the only player on the roster over the age of 30. Miami with touchdowns on the first two drives. Second quarter, Fitzpatrick to Mike Gesicki. Oh, yeah. Fitzpatrick, a perfect 12 for 12 to start the game. 127 yards passing, a pair of touchdowns. Dolphins up 21-7 at the half. The stash, what's he doing? That's terrifying. Jags facing a 3rd and long. Minshew under pressure. Oh, gets caught in his mustache, coughs it up. Miami recovers. Minshew's 4th turnover in 3 games gives the Dolphins excellent field position. And, yeah, there were fans in the stands, about 17,000 Hound Dog for this one? Yeah, 17,000 in the stands. On 3rd and goal, Fitzpatrick calls his own number, takes it in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. Fitzpatrick, 3 total touchdowns, just 2 incompletions on the night. Dolphins win their first double-digit victory, with their first double-digit victory since 2017. And these are a couple of 1-2 teams now. Fitzpatrick's won his last 5 starts against the Jags, all with different teams. Huh. It's a neat one. Next week, Dolphins host Seattle, Jags in Cincy.
Now we're walking over to the other set.
You should make the Bubble and Wubble shirts.
Yeah.
You need pandemic merch.
Yeah, it's got to be some of it out there.
Okay, across the United States, protests continue after a grand jury in Kentucky voted not to charge any of the Louisville police officers in Breonna Taylor's death.
Now, high-profile athletes have also expressed outrage, and before the first WNBA game of Thursday night, Lynx star Nafisa Collier gave a statement on behalf of all WNBA players.
Our hearts are with Miss Tamika Palmer. It has been 195 days since her daughter, Breonna Taylor, was killed. 195 days, and still today, no one was charged for her death. We strongly support the sentiment expressed by her family, the family of Breonna Taylor. The result is outrageous and offensive. No one needs to live in the Commonwealth of Kentucky to understand this case. We won't stop pressing for full transparency and full and complete justice. There are far too many questions left unanswered. Justice is on the ballot. Please register today and vote on or before November 3rd. Thank you.
There's a lot of things in this country that I don't understand that we're looking at right now. As I continue to say, it's about us to educate ourselves, about us getting registered to vote, and going out there and doing that, and making sure that we're educated on who we're voting for and what they're going to do while they're in office. So, I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I'd say we've taken a step as a team is trying to just talk about that, the importance to vote and the importance to for our voices to be heard throughout our communities and be leaders there. But that's simply unacceptable, and don't understand an officer not being charged in that case.
When I got up this morning, you know, I was seeing it on social media of her not getting no justice. But, you know, we got other things in the world that get justice that don't really need justice, but people want to push that issue a lot more than our black lives that's mattering. Breonna Taylor being one of them, you know. So it's crazy. Like we never get justice for serious things on our side of the part, you know. We're in America where it should be freedom of speech, you know, the land of the free. But I don't really feel like it's been that way for us black people sometimes. So that's what I have to say about that.
I am angry, but then at the same time, you know, I can't be angry at this because I saw it coming. There's no surprise. The element of surprise is out of my mind at this point. I'm disgusted. I'll say that. That is something that I really am, and I hate that Breonna Taylor didn't get justice. You give it, it's like, I didn't even know who said it, but it's like a slap on the wrist. And when I read that, it just felt like it's just nothing. Like, it's just, no one cares. And that's the thing that does not sit right with me, is when will people care, understand that this is a human right thing? This isn't, Black Lives Matter isn't this big thing that's like, oh, taking money, this, that, and the third. It is a statement. It is a life that I live. I am a Black woman. You take everything that I've earned away from me, and I am a Black woman, and I fear for my life.
And the main reason players entered the wubble and the bubble in the WNBA and NBA is because they wanted this platform.
That's right. They have Breonna Taylor's name on the back of their jerseys. The WNBA players have throughout the entire postseason and entire bubble season or wubble season. So yeah, it's you can understand the devastation that all these athletes feel.
How about Abbotsford, BC's Chase Claypool? He scored his first NFL touchdown Sunday. 84-yard toss from Ben Roethlisberger, the longest scrimmage touchdown by a Canadian player in league history. He was asked Thursday about the support he's received from his quarterback as well as his head coach.
They've been really good to me throughout this process. Even when I got in early, you know, they've been really helpful with answering any questions that I have, or, you know, if I do something wrong, they'll go right up to me and tell me. And, you know, they get excited for me when I do things well. So I think it's super important that you have, you know, the respect of your peers. At the start of the season, Coach Tomlin laid down his expectations, and we're going for a world championship. So he set the bar.
You're watching Jay and Dan, brought to you by McDonald's. Cleveland's won 4 straight. They've already clinched a playoff spot. Franmil Reyes is going to be a broadcaster someday, and he's practicing. In fact, both the White Sox and the Cleveland Indians have clinched postseason berths, just like the Blue Jays. White Sox up 2-1 in the 7th. Eloy Jimenez drives one off Zach Plesac. Delino DeShields Jr. cannot haul it in and pays the price. Delino DeShields Jr. Redemption, though, comes at this catch to Rob Yolmer Sanchez. That saved at least a run, and it actually proved to be crucial because in the bottom half, it's now 4-3 Chicago. 2-on-2 off Jose Ramirez. Ramirez walk-off home run, won the game on Tuesday. Again comes through here. Cleveland sweeping Chicago.
Brewers and Cards. St. Louis a game up in Milwaukee for second in the NL Central. Both teams sending their ERA leaders to the hill. Cards' Kwang Yun Kim went 5 strong, giving up just 1 earned run. The only earned run he's given up in 11 innings against the Brewers this season. Time for Yadi Molina. Molina gets the 2,000th hit of his career, only the 6th player in Cards history to do so. He spent his entire 17-year career with the Cards. As the Sklar brothers, St. Louis Cardinals win 4-2. Who Delivered, brought to you by McDelivery. Now, one of the hidden gems on the McDonald's menu, their smoothies. So good. Blue Jays clinched their first playoff berth since 2016. Hyun-Jin Ryu pitched 7 shutout innings. Jays beat the Yankees 4-1. They secured at least an AL wildcard spot and ensured their 8th trip overall to the postseason. So yes, they delivered as a team. The Stars want to avoid going down 3-1 in the Stanley Cup final. They're going to need more from Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin. Both have yet to register a point in the series. The coach is staying pretty positive. ahead of Friday's Game 4. It would be weird if he wasn't.
We're seeing some encouraging signs that they're generating really quality chances, and you just got to hope that one of those is going to go in, and that'll take a lot of the stress off of them for sure.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
We didn't hear from Nick Camano.
Yeah, we didn't hear from Nick. Lightning head coach Sean Cooper did not provide an update on Steven Stamkos. Stamkos did not skate on Thursday, so the Stamkos watch continues ahead of Game 4. Now, the Pens have traded Patrick Hornquist to the Florida Panthers in exchange for defenseman Mike Matheson and forward Colton Sevier. Hornquist has spent the last 6 seasons in the Berg, collecting 132 goals and 132 assists and 2 Stanley Cups. 33 years old, 3 years remaining on his deal with a cap hit of $5.3 million per season. Matheson has played all 5 of his NHL seasons with Florida. He has 6 years remaining on his contract at a cap hit of just under $5 million.
And I saw someone tweet out that both these teams, they're going to be busy.
Yeah, well, and like Jim Rutherford likes to get things done early, right? Get them done quick. This is the trade bait board. Matt Murray, Matt Dumba Anderson, Ekman Larson, Line. We're talking trade bait, Castle Palmieri, Ottawa second-round picks. Marc-Andre Fleury.
It doesn't flow.
No, it doesn't. Danger. This is a very exciting edition of Trade Bait.
How about you could say Ottawa's picks instead of the second round? Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll work on it.
Nick Nurse held his end-of-season meeting Thursday. Nurse agreed to a multi-year contract extension last week before President Masai Ujiri and GM Bobby Webster, whose contracts are also up after next season. Nurse is confident they'll both be back.
I certainly enjoy. We've been together, Bobby Masai and I, for 7 years now. I mean, only kind of at a real close working relationship for 2. Since I became the head coach, and we feel like a team. Feel like a team that leads the organization. So yeah, there's a little concern. I mean, I don't know. I never was concerned that they were not going to get a deal done for me. I feel the same way about Bobby and the same for Masai. I mean, if something changes, we'll do the best we can. And if it changes, it's going to be probably for a good reason for somebody, right? A better reason, or whatever. But if not, we'll just keep working together.
I like that chair.
This is neat. Nurse said that Scotiabank Arena is going to be open next week for U.S. citizens in Canada to register to vote.
I love that.
In the upcoming U.S. election.
Yeah, great idea. Milos Raonic pulled out of the French Open Thursday, hours before the draw announcement. Mark Masters is reporting that it's a preventative move this year rather than an injury issue. He's played in 3 tournaments since the return to play, including the Rome Masters on clay last week. So that's a bit of a shocker. Unfortunately.
Playing on clay, I can see. You'd always feel tentative.
And plus, your socks get dirty, as you like to point out. And you're going to see a lot of dirty socks because we have the men's and women's draws later in the show. 6 Canadians playing in singles. Our multi-court coverage of the French Open starts Sunday morning.
Fans will be there. 1,000 per day.
5 a.m. Eastern, Roland Garros.
Originally, it was supposed to be 5,000 per day. They said, nah, 1,000.
Hey, cut them back. When we come back, we don't need pithy promo lines. The Jannies are next. Welcome back to the television program that we do for you 5 times a week here on TSN. And this segment of the show is called The Jannies, something producer Tim invented to get more highlights into the show. Michael A. Taylor, incredible leaping grab.
That's a tall wall with a rail on
That's going to
top
get
of it.
started.
I got a wrong script here.
Nope.
Oh, what happened to the ref there? Rajon Rondo ran him over.
Down here. Okay, Kate. There's a foul on play.
Yeah.
I believe James going to be called for the foul.
Okay, here we go. Corrales Punta Cana Resort and Club Championship from the DR. Closing his day on the par 3 ninth, Kelly Craft makes a hole-in-one on the 204-yard par 3.
Okay, what do we got here?
Rockies Giants.
Did well to left field.
Dubon.
Dubon on the move.
What a catch by Mauricio Dubon against the wall.
He'd done good by other bigger teams.
This is the biggest catch of the Blue Jays season. Yanks have the bases loaded. Randall Grichuk at the wall. Grichuk! Got it. Grichuk! He actually made it look pretty easy.
I showed you this earlier. Anthony Davis hit by Jeremy Grant, and he's like, oh, I scored.
Speaking of Yar, why did Pirates have so many eye injuries?
Because they get stabbed by swords. Or swords, depending on how you like to pronounce it.
So they go directly for the eye? Trevor Story, nice defensive jet.
If I was fighting another pirate. That sword, right in the other guy's eye.
Never thought of that until now.
Well, that's been pirate. It's been pirate talk on Jay and Dan. Coming up, the highlight of the night, Norse play of the day, and our blooper segment, Bloop Bloops. Have you listened to the Jay and Dan podcast brought to you by McDonald's? This week's was a terrific one, an all call-in show. And it's available wherever you get your podcasts.
Only people named Colin are guests. Oh, call in. Okay.
That's exactly it, Dan. Hey, oh, this is you.
Who would be your first Colin?
Colin Firth, of course.
And get some extra yards to the 18.
Monty. Hound Dog wants us to get Colin Montgomery. Why didn't you ever win a major? That would be my first question.
Oh, that was my play? Sorry. I thought I had to have a...
So I said, this is you. Oh, wow, Jamal Murray. Kitchener, Ontario's own. Beautiful stuff. Unfortunately, the Nuggets did not win. Fortunately, they were down 3-1 in their previous two series, so everything should be just fine. We've got Game 5 Saturday.
I messed up that worst play. That was C.J. Henderson. He took a break from tackling. I didn't know that was my play, so I messed that up. I take full ownership.
Okay, and then I messed up the Steely Dan lyric. When all her dying dancing is through, I said dying dancing. The whole time I thought it was dying dancing, which doesn't make any sense. Why would you die then dance, or dance then die?
Unless ghosts were dancing.
And then, Dan, you threw out your script for the Jannies before the Jannies ran. That's not true. That's not true.
I was looking for another script.
And, Dan, you said that Chatham, Ontario was filled with windmills.
Mm-hmm.
They're wind turbines. Wind turbines.
I always call them windmills.
Yeah. Same with me. It's been a fun week.
And it's really flat there, too.
Right. It's Bloop Bloops time.
Oh, let's see what we have here.
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, God. This is the same video over and over. Oh, God. Wait, this one's at number 7?
How is this at number 7, Tim?
This is one of the greatest moments in this show's history.
Who put this together?
Is my mic up?
Connor Hellebuck, first goalie in Jets Thrashers franchise history to win the award. I don't know if you could tell, folks, but I was caught off guard. Jamie, you were a big Venga Boys guy back in the day, weren't you?
A what?
Boards.
You know what band I was into was Color Me Bad.
Yes. Absolutely. And you should be proud of that.